Cherished viewers, once again, you are welcome to The Volunteer, the only television program set to bring for the spirit of volunteering in Ghanaians, and also to bring to the limelight the good work of volunteers in Ghana. We'll introduce our guests when we are back. Welcome back. Today I'm pleased to have with me on set the Human Resource and Administrative Manageress for the Ghana YMCA. She is in the presence of Mrs. Veronica Ampofoah Nanor. Mrs. Ampofoah, you are highly welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, such a rare opportunity to have you on set.
I'm glad to be here.
Sure. We delve in straight. YMCA. What is YMCA?
Thank you. The Young Men Christian Association. That's the YMCA. So in 1890, a young man by the name Ymca returned from London, the UK, with this association. So in the UK, he saw that this is what the young men were doing. They had a center where they came together, shared ideas, did all sorts of activities, sports and all that, kept them busy. So in coming home, he said, why don't I bring this to my country, Ghana? So then he brought that to Ghana. I started in Accra, then gradually moved to the other regions. So currently we are actively 5 administrative regions working, but we are able to reach all the other regions as well, because we have positioned ourselves in a way that we are able to reach out to all the other regions, despite being actively operating in 5 regions.
And being young men, Christian Association, must it only be Christian, and is it all about the young men?
Okay. So our men is just like the men in the Bible. So it's all inclusive, whether men or women. So in the YMCA we have both females and males who are members that we call the volunteers. And they not necessarily only young men, because the young men will definitely grow. So when they grow, they are not static. They still remain members of the YMCA. They have young men, young women, they have even children, and then the elderly.
So it's just like an all-age inclusive
all
volunteering
men,
platform under the name YMCA.
Young Men Christian Association.
So who is a volunteer, who is a staff, who is a member?
Okay. Alright, so the volunteers are the members. So we believe that if people 50 in number in a particular area who believe in the ideals of the YMCA come together and say that we want to support our community, we want to volunteer our time, talents and treasure to our community. That is the belief of the YMCA. Then we can put them together, innovate them, train them in the ways of the YMCA, and they become a group of YMCA. So if we are in community based, and if the communities come together from the various regions, so let's say in Accra, we have Sakaman, we have Tema, we have all of them put together, then they form the region. So when the regions also come together, then we have a national commission. So if someone who has voluntarily come forward to say, I want to support my community in this direction that YMCA is taking, and have become a member, such a person is ready to volunteer their time, their treasure and their talent to support their community, then they are volunteers. And then when the volunteers put their thoughts together, the things that they want to do to support the nation, to support the community, someone has to ensure that this thing is done. Someone will have to take it and run with it. And those are the staff that they have employed. And I am a staff. and I'm also a volunteer because I believe in the ideals of the YMCA. So we are making the plans of the volunteers work. Mind you, the volunteers also have their various workplaces. They work at different organizations, but they have this plan that we want to do this for our community. Who is going to ensure that this thing is done? Okay, so then the staff will come in to implement the plans of the volunteers.
So the staff serve as implementers or supervisory
Implementers,
bodies
you
to-
say yes, for the plans that the volunteers have been able to come out with.
Okay. So this brings us down to the details of activities. What exactly do you do?
Okay, so we take care of the young people in our communities through skill training. So in Accra, for instance, we have a technical training center. By virtue of what is being trained there, you see only young men there. And then in Takrady, there's a vocational training center. By virtue of what is going on there, you see all females. But it's all young men, Christian Association. And then we are also into early childhood development centers, like what we call the daycare centers. And that one, we are not able to thrive well in Accra. So we are in the Eastern region, Ashanti region, and Volta region, where we are able to take care of little children at the age of the kindergarten from 1 year to 6 years or 5 years before they move on to class 1. That is also to support the community. So that is thriving well there in the 3 regions I have mentioned. And then we do community interventions. So let's say the YMCA group, they see there's a need for them to maybe build a borehole, do something, do a cleanup, or that's the work of the YMCA. They come together, organize themselves, and ensure that it is done. So, and there was a time we were also doing reproductive health education. Yes. So we went to schools, communities, to teach them about the reproductive health system, how they are able to take care of themselves in the secondary schools, in the primary schools, and then in the communities. Currently, we are doing media and training, which is free of charge, because we want the young people to have some skill on their hands, so that they'll be able to take care of themselves and get life moving on. So we train young people in the film training, camera works, writing and editing, all that for free. And then after that we give them a project as they come out with a short film out of the training that we have given them, so that we also showcase that to the world. So all these activities are ongoing at the YMCA. And some years ago, the Y, as we call it, used to be a center where every parent will want to bring their child after school, because then you have people doing all sorts of activities. So there are sports going on, there are people helping them in the other activities. There are people dancing, drumming, just bringing the youth in the young people, and so the safe haven for the young people.
All after school.
All after school.
So till it's time to go home in the evening, you are
You have a
occupied.
space, yes.
Unlike when in our day now, after school, it's all about the phone. Though there are so much to explore on the phone and the tablet and whatever gadgets, some way, somehow, our young people are not being caught up in those areas. And I think it's a good vision, and it will be worth it to bring it back. What do you think about that?
It would, but in this day and age where technology has taken over everything, so we can look at it in a different dimension, and I'm sure that is what we are also planning to do. It may not necessarily be all sports and all that activities. What else can we do? Robotics? What else can we do? And that will bring the young people together still. And they will still have to do something with their minds, with their hands, and the whole body, keeping them active. Mind you, once they do this, you are keeping them safe from this, maybe some social vices. Because the time that they'll be indulging in maybe community fights, maybe those vices that we don't want to see in our community, they would have been busy at the YMCA center, learning something for themselves.
That's so inspiring, and I'm glad to hear the progress so far. Now, this question goes to everybody who comes on this set. Who are your sponsors?
Okay, so YMCA, we have internally generated funds. Once you become a member, I mentioned that you are ready to volunteer your time, talent, and treasure. So what is the treasure? So your treasure, we pay dues, so we have some funds, and then we also operate, I didn't mention that earlier, we have hostels and guest houses. Just like centers that we do not charge as the other hotels and guest houses charge, because ours is also to support the community. So every time we have full occupancy because of our rates and how we keep the fees. So in Accra, for instance, we have hostel and guest house just near the SC Tower, and then in Kokoridua we have same behind the ministries. In the Ashanti region we have same, and even Accra there's yet another one about relation. So that is what we do to support the community, and that also brings in some funds. And of course we have partners who support us, and we really appreciate them for that. Mostly our partners are the German wines, we call them the CBJM. Most of our projects are being supported from there, and they also support most of the activities that we do here, because that is also what we do, the ideals of the wine. We also get donors who support us the most. So the media training, for instance, is from a donor. Most of our activities are donor sponsored. So apart from the internally generated funds, we also get scholarship donors and our partners.
That's intriguing. What has been the reaction or the response of society to your various activities?
Okay. So in recent times, when we visit communities and we mention that we are from the YMCA, the question comes like, are you still existing? So there has been that previous years when the YMCA was very vibrant, but now we still do things. But because of the fact that we are not able to really project our activities out there, people do not hear of us. They think that the YMCA spirit is down. No, we are not down. We're still there. So where we are able to go into the various communities, they really welcome us and they appreciate the things that we are doing. There are so many stories of young people who have had their lives transformed by virtue of coming in contact with the activities and programs of the YMCA. We have people who now have work to do, who now have skills that they can depend on as their main job that helps them to survive and their families. So the impact has been great. Many young people have been started, and the transformation is gradual, but it's really going deep. Don't forget about the trainings, vocational, technical, and even the community interventions that really take part of what we do as an organization. So the impact has been great.
And with what you mentioned concerning the people reacting, are you still there? In this day of social media platform existence, of news going very far, because the traditional television has also gone, is in every place except where there is no electricity or power to connect. How come that they're still asking that question? That means they've missed the old YMCA and the new one is not too known. So a surprise like, you are here again. How are you connecting that miss out? How are you feeling that gap?
Okay, so now we have an active website, an active Facebook page, and Instagram that is taking care of that. But remember, YMCA is not the only volunteer organization now. Then it used to be the massive one because we had a big center, we had people coming in and out, and if I am not telling lies, it was one of the biggest in the country then. But now we have many other NGOs who are doing what we do. Yes, so you don't really have to say that we have to be the YMCA. Crossroads International, Plan Ghana, name them. So that is why we are also upping our game, getting our news out there on the internet, getting our news out there on Facebook, on the various social media platforms, where people will get to hear our story, just opposed to what others are also doing. So we are striving to do that, and I think we are doing so well with that one as well.
Sure. Viewers, is getting interested. Stay tuned. Yeah, so I want to say a very big thank you to SAC GH for my beautiful look. SAC GH, I'm proud you are my partner. Gabby Angels Production, they always bring us on set. We are grateful. The Piano Bar. And then also to Cuddles Beauty Salon. Not forgetting May Cars Fashion. Welcome back, Auntie Vero.
Thank you.
Looking at the future, you mentioned of competitors in the system, healthy competition in the system as far as volunteering and national development is concerned. Are we swallowing up YMCA by the overwhelming outpouring volunteering organizations, or what is the future like?
So I don't think the YMCA is being swallowed up. The whole thing is a huge system that we all need to find peace. All the other NGOs are doing their part, and that of YMCA is also left for us to do. So currently, one of our projects, Youth Justice, where we are caring for the young people who are in incarceration, those who have come out of the and serving their term, and those who are likely to go by their activities that they do. So we realize that we as an organization, we look at peculiar things in the community and tackle it. And there are few of such NGOs who are doing that. So we can never say that we are being solid. We are doing our bit. And Ghana is wide. The challenges are many. So if we are able to solve a handful, then we are responding to the needs of the community. So we are doing our best, just like the others are also doing. The challenge or the competition is not with the organization, but with ourselves. How can we better our lot to really serve a wider community, not just where we are?
Sure. So how can you better yourselves? You're already good. But then that question is still there because we move higher and it's always getting better. You are on the volunteer.
Okay. Thank you, the volunteer. So in opportunities like this, then we share our story as to what we are doing to support the community and our nation at large. We also learn of the new trends that are coming. We don't just stay doing the old things that we used to do. Because we used to serve the community, but we don't tell our story to the world. Now we are telling our story to the world. It means we are changing, we are evolving. Then we are bringing in more people. The fact that we say it is for young men Christian association doesn't mean that if the person is not a Christian, he cannot be a beneficiary. Some of our beneficiaries are not Christians. They are Muslims, they are other beliefs because we are supporting the community. The only thing is that they cannot take any leadership roles because then our ideals will die out. So we really supporting our community.
So in terms of structure, you go by your ideals.
Yes.
But everybody is welcome.
Everybody is welcome. The YMCA.
How can people become members or volunteers of YMCA?
That's a good one. So where we are located, we will have the names of the various branches in Accra, in Ashanti, in Volta, and then Western regions of the street. So if you are closer to any of them, you can go there and then join them at their meetings.
And are your social media handles also just Ghana YMCA?
Yes, our social media handles are Ghana YMCA, and you get us there on Facebook, and Twitter, and IG.
Before we run off, you've said a lot, but for some people, the summary is their take home. What do you have for viewers out there, all over the world, especially Ghana, pertaining volunteering, pertaining patriotism, pertaining anything that has to do with giving for national development? What are your last few words? And also, maybe for YMCA again.
Okay. So, we believe that we can all help our country if we do the bits where we are, if we are responsible enough where we are. It is when we all take responsibility for what we are supposed to do. So in your own corner, what are you doing to support your brother and your sister? Not expecting anything as a reward. Do it willingly. That is what the volunteer is all about. So to be a volunteer, it means you have the need to support someone else, not expecting to be paid. And then for the YMCA, we believe in numbers. When we come together and we put something ahead of us as a plan, we want to achieve this. We are bringing your talent, someone is bringing this, someone is bringing that. Together we are able to change our community for our own good. So once you have something to give back to the community, bring it to the YMCA and we'll do it wholeheartedly, and you will see the results that you are expecting to see. So join us at the YMCA. Our head office is at Ymca, number 56 Castle Road, and then at 54 Castle Road, rather, just by the SU Tower, before the Ridge Hospital. You will see that is the head office. We can show you to the various centers and branches that we have, that we can also become a member and also support your community where you are.
So my last take home words from Mrs. Veronica Nanor, representing the YMCA, is that anything you have to support in volunteering, bring it to the YMCA. And don't forget to bring that which belongs to cover to us, so that the volunteer can always go on. A big thank you to all our sponsors: SAC GH, Gabby Angels Production, Makers Fashion, Cuddles Beauty, and of course to the Coalition of Volunteering Organization. We say thumbs up for the volunteer. Till I come your way again next time, it is bye-bye from your humble host, Lily Bright Tete.